Hi everyone. Oh, that's a little bit loud. It's a bit sunny. Oh dear. What a day. Hello everybody. I'm going to give people a chance to come in because I didn't give people the most notice in terms of this happening. The sun's really... I might have to pull the blind. We'll see. How's everybody doing? Hello Izzy. Hello. Okay. Give it a minute. Pop your questions in now, because then I can have a little read and kind of identify what we want to talk about today. I think a lot of people are concerned about clearing. I think that's the main thing that's been coming up recently. I get my results on Thursday. Bella, I'm sure you absolutely smashed your exams. Did you have exams? I think that's something that I'm curious about. Did people have exams? No. Did you see in the recent TikTok post that I put up a minute ago? Have a little look if you haven't already. People who are going to university, the universities have said they're not too sure. You know what happened last year where there was a bit of a mess and loads of people appealing their grades and this and that. What some universities have said is that even though we're getting, our like teacher assessed grades, they're not sure how well they can trust them. So there's talk about us having entrance exams. Okay, that's fine. So I don't know how we feel about that, but there we go. It was good. I went out with my friend. I'm glad. How are you? I'm good. I'm a little bit stressed about tomorrow. But, it's understandable that people are going to be stressed. I'm stressed, you're probably stressed. I think most people up and down the country, and equally people who have, there's a seagull on my balcony, people who have, different exam result dates and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's stressed, the tension is high, and all we can do really is, wait for it to come about. What I would suggest is make sure you're exercising, make sure you're eating well, taking care of yourself, getting a good night's sleep tonight, because if stuff doesn't go quite to plan, or if it does go to plan, stuff seems worse when you're tired, firstly, and equally, if you're going out and celebrating good results, then you're going to want that extra little bit of energy, so make sure you get to bed at a reasonable time. There is some talk about people being able to see whether they've got into university or not from their schools at midnight, but they're not saying what the grades are. So have a little investigation, maybe ask around people at your college or your sixth form or whatever, because then you can kind of understand when you're getting your results back. Because at UCAS, I had a little investigation myself. UCAS are sending out the results at 8 a.m. in the morning. Hi Archie, how are you? I haven't spoken to you in ages. Results are coming out through UCAS at 8 a.m, but what they said last year is it took people kind of until 9 a.m. to get onto the website because everybody and their dog's trying to see their results at 8 in the morning. So have a little investigation, make sure you're nice and prepared. That's something I would say. If you're trying to get your results first things first, it doesn't make a difference whether you see them at 8 or whether you see them at 10 o'clock, They're not changing with the time difference of 2 hours, but the thing to be mindful is if you're not sure if you're going to get into your university or if you're not going to get your GCSE grades that you want or whatever, and you're thinking about appealing, or if it's affecting how you're going to get into a certain course, whether it's, university or sixth form college, if you're going to have to call up and go into clearing or say, listen, I've just missed my grades, would you mind, letting me in, doing me a little cheeky favour, you are going to want to be the first person to get onto that spot. So, might make sense to wake up a little bit earlier and just jump on the little bandwagon with that one. We go in the living room now, do we? I'm house sitting, so this is not my house, but it's kind of swag. Do you want to see the sea? Look. There's the ocean. Wow. There's the ocean, which is kind of swag. It's really nice. It's a bit rainy at the moment though, it's not fantastic. I swear your lives have saved me. I love you. Quizlet is really good for studying. That is something very, very true. Studying wise, if people have study tips, maybe pop me a message on Instagram and we can sort that out. Or alternatively, if people want to do, ask me them anyway. But I'm going to prioritize the results day questions. So if I haven't answered your question at the end of this, pop me a message on Instagram, or we can maybe do another little Q&A live and I can answer some of your questions then. What time does track update? Is it 8? It is 8. That's what I've been told. That's what I've seen, but there is a whole thing from last year where a lot of people were really delayed in terms of getting onto the website, so they might be released at 8, but you might not be able to find out until 8:30 or 9, depending on how long it takes everybody to get onto the website. Although I did see somebody say it was 8:30, so I think there's a little bit of confusion because a couple weeks ago UCAS said 8, but I've seen a couple people saying 8:30, so we shall see. Are you going to show your results? Yes, I'm streaming them live. Is that a good idea? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. You'll get to see I'm going to go live at 7:40 a.m. tomorrow morning, so there'll be like 20 minutes before we've got kind of, you know, the results, where if anybody's stressed, you can join, we'll have a little chat, a little bit of kind of shared panic, but calming panic, if that makes sense. What A-levels did you do? I took psychology, sociology and biology, and I also did an EPQ on are we being desensitized by the media. Oh wow, okay, people are asking me questions and question stickers. Okay, I don't know if I did well in my exams. Help me, what do I do if I don't get in? Okay, so if you don't get into your firm university, let's start with that. So say you get into your insurance, but not your firm. What you can do is you can call up your firm. If you've just missed the grades, call up your firm university and say, hey girly pops, maybe don't start it with hey girly pops, but you know what I mean. Be like, hey, I've literally just missed my grades. These are the reasons why, if we hadn't had coronavirus, I would have got into your university. And give them a list, and you never know, they might turn around and say, do you know what? Come on in, you know, so definitely give that a go. The second thing is, if they do say no, unfortunately, or if you've missed your grades by a little bit more than you were expecting, then you can go to your insurance. This will be kind of the university that you put down in like second place, or like your second highest ranking one, which hopefully the grade boundaries, like the entry requirement grades, would have been lower. Oh, thank you for the flag. Jack, how are you? How are you, my love? The grade entry requirement should be slightly lower, so you should be able to get into that one. Alternatively, if you didn't get into both, then you can go into clearing. In terms of clearing, a lot of people seem to be really confused with what clearing is. Clearing is basically where you've not got an offer from a university, but you are able to call up, or you can use Clearing Plus on the UCAS website. This is a little extra bit of like track where you can go in and there's a list of so many universities. There'll be different courses at each university, obviously different universities, and you can go through the list and take your top five choices. So they might be the same course at different university, or a slightly different course at the same university, but you can make your list of 5 and you add them to like your My Matches bit. So then you go into your My Matches bit, you select your 5, and then universities can go through your application and see if they would like to give you an offer. And then from there, obviously you'll either get an offer, or alternatively, if you don't want to go through the clearing process, because obviously it's optional, you don't have to go into clearing. You could appeal your grades if you're not happy with them and you think you should have got higher grades. For that, you're going to need to email either your teacher, well, maybe call them up just because you get a faster response. Call up your teacher, your exam board, your exam like invigilator person, or there's equally the your national exam helpline number. I put the number for that in one of my recent TikToks, so check that out, and then have a little look on there. Thank you very much, Shane. Oh, Shane, hello, how are you? Call up that number and you can get them appealed through there. Or alternatively, you can always just take a gap year, or you can even take your exams in the autumn term. I don't know if that's something that people would want to do, but you can take the exams as if there'd been like no corona. You know, you're full in, sitting in an exam room with your clear plastic pencil case and your bottle without the label on. You can take your kind of exams. In terms of what works best for you, you're going to obviously find out tomorrow when we get our results, because you'll have different options. So, but cheers. Hopefully everybody's done really, really well. I'm sure everybody's done really well. What grades are you hoping for? My predictors were A star, AA. Obviously I'm hoping for those because that's what I'd get into my firm choice, which was UCL, so one in the centre of London. We'll have to see in terms of do we get them. I don't know. We'll have a little look. Will universities be more lenient with grades this year? Good question. So I've done my research in terms of what's going on. A lot of people are saying yes, because obviously they're understanding that, you know, some people have lost family members, some people's mental health has had, you know, been at an all-time low with the pandemic. So they're saying that there will be some leniency and they will be more understanding and accepting of different situations for different people. Something that I did see is more like Russell Group universities are less likely to be lenient. I mean, this is usually the case anyway, because they have so many applications and usually they have like quite a long like waiting list, so to speak. So it's less likely they'll be as lenient as other universities, but everywhere that I seem to look said there is going to be, you know, more people getting higher grades, obviously because teacher assessed grades and leniency in that sense. And then there's also going to be more people being able to get into universities when they didn't quite make the entry requirements. So yes, I hope that helped. Please can you say what you got for GCSEs? For GCSEs, I got to do it in like the sections in my brain. So I did combined science, so I got an 8-9. Oh, thank you very much, Shane, for the expert. I got a 8-9 for my science. I got a 7-8 for my English. Maths I got a 6. Spanish I got a 6. History I got an 8. Geography I got a 9. And drama I got an 8. Have I got everything? ICT, I got an A. It was kind of weird. I took ICT and RS as well a year early, so we had kind of experience about the exam systems and all that kind of stuff before we took like the rest of the bulk of our GCSEs, which I would say is really, really, really helpful, but there we go. What time do you think you'll be live streaming opening your results? I'm going to go live at 7:40 a.m, so it gives us like 20 minutes or whatever before the results come out to kind of, if anybody's having a bit of a panic, you can join the live stream or have a chat. I'll probably be a little bit panicked myself, but we'll go through it together. We'll stick together and it'll be kind of swag. What do you want to do at uni? I want to take psychology because I would like to do developmental psychology. So I don't know if people have seen The Secret Life of 5-Year-Olds. My favourite show. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's basically, they've got all like these CCTV cameras set up in a nursery and they give them either little scenarios where it's like, don't touch the ice cream machine, and then you get to see how long these little kids last, and you hear all their conversations, and I literally love it. My favourite line in any of the episodes was this one where there's these 2 4-year-olds, because there's Secret Life of 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, and these 2 4-year-olds have a disagreement, and the like teacher ladies says to one, what could, I can't remember his name, like Bob do to make the situation better? And obviously you expect this kid to turn around and say sorry, but this little boy just goes, die. And it's the most, I love it, it's so good. What does it mean when it says UCAS will be updated tomorrow? Will the results be up there? Yes, so your track, thank you Shane for the flowers. So your track will update. It will obviously say different things depending on your situation, your results, how you did. But so if you go onto UCAS website tomorrow morning, go into the bit that says track, you'll have to sign in, pop your login details in, and then you can get either conditional offer, which is obviously you met the grades that you were required to get in. You might see unconditional offer, like unconditional confirmed offer, which is like UCC, even though that's not the correct letters. That means that even though you didn't get the grades, they've decided to offer you a place anyway. So keep an eye out for that. That's really cool if you get one of those. And alternatively, they might say, you know, unfortunately you haven't met the grades this time, but you might get put through onto your insurance, so that way you'll get an offer from there instead. I'm doing triple science next year. Is that good? I would say it's really good. If you're considering doing a science at A level, definitely do triple science, because I did combined or like double science, and then it meant when I did biology at A level, there were some topics like the kidney, which everybody had like so much knowledge on already, and I had never done before, so think about that before you sign up. Blair, I'm setting a whole alarm for your live. I'm so no way. Don't wake up too early. Just be in bed and watch me open my results. Oh, it's terrifying. When are you starting studying lives again? This is the thing. People have been saying recently, are they coming back? Do people want them back? I don't think, this is the thing. Obviously we stopped over summer because nobody seemed to have like any work to do. But do people want them back? I don't know. What was the first option you mentioned on UCAS? The first option was conditional, so this means you've met the grade requirements that you needed, and then you're going to that university. That will be for your firm if you've met those grades. And then alternatively, if you haven't quite met them, you could either get an unconditional offer, which is where you didn't get the grades, but you're going to your firm anyway, or you might get a rejection from your firm, but then you will be able to go to your insurance. But cheers. Yes, please, can we have study labs back? Oh, no way. Okay, I'm going to pop a poll on my Instagram story after this. My Instagram is in my bio, so click that and then you can vote on there. I'll pop it up straight after this so we can see what's going. Please, can you explain clearing? Okay, clearing. This is what everyone seems to be really, really confused on. The clearing process is if you haven't got into your firm and you haven't got into your insurance, you can go onto the UCAS website, into this bit that says clearing plus. That's if you've got rejections from, you know, the other university offers that you had. Go onto that. It will say, you know, this massive list of different university courses, different universities. You can pick your top 5 options, add them to your bit that says my matches, so it's like a list of your top choices, I guess. And then the universities that you select will get a notification saying you're interested in them, and then they can go through your application, and if they think, you know, you'd be a good candidate for one of their spots, they will go through and then either send you an offer or not. So, you know, clearing process is very stressful. You can do it through the app, but through the website on UCAS, but equally you can call up the universities as well if you think you'd be better on the phone, or do both, you know, apply with one hand and be on the phone with the other hand, just to make sure you're trying to get into somewhere. And what I would say, if you are going through clearing, is know exactly what you're going to say before you get on the phone. So don't have like a script, But when you're on the phone, say, you know, I was expecting to get these grades, so I've applied to these universities, but because of this, this, and this happening, I didn't quite manage to get those grades. Because then in their brain, like whoever's at the end of the phone, they will understand that these are the different circumstances that have affected you, which, you know, given it was a normal year, wouldn't have affected you. So they will take that into consideration, and they're more likely to offer you a place if you can give, you know, proper excuses as to why you got slightly less good grades than you were expecting. But I'm sure everybody's done really well anyway, so don't stress. What is your firm? My firm is UCL, so it's University of Central London. And then I've also picked Sussex for my insurance, so we shall see. But how are people feeling about results? I'm getting a little, thing is, I was fine before I came live, but now everybody's being like, results. It's starting to stress me out a little bit. But you know, this evening, pop on some meditation, do meditation. I know meditation, when I first was told, let's try meditation in life, I think somebody said, let's do yoga. And then I was like, besties, we're not doing yoga. I literally can't touch my toes. And then someone suggested meditation. And at first I was like, okay. But the more that we did it and the more I got into it, I realized it's actually really beneficial. So if you go onto YouTube and you type in good for meditation, they have ones for stress, anxiety, sleep. They have like 10-minute ones, 5-minute ones, self-love ones. They've got absolutely everything on there. I would say have a look at those ones. Obviously you can find your own as well. But the guy from Good for Meditation, it's like a little side branch from BuzzFeed. He has a really nice calming voice. So yeah. I'm confused about the new entrance exams. Do you know anything? So this is something that's only just been said like in the last 2 days, I think 2 hours or 2 days, I can't remember. Recently, very recently, there's talk about what happened last year with the whole like grade system, with a lot of people appealing grades and a lot of people saying the system's unfair, where we've got teacher assessed grades and obviously a certain amount of appeals will go through. Some universities have been speaking about doing entrance exams because they can't rely on the teacher assessed grades to make sure that they're like as fair and representative as they should be. So I mean, there's not really that much information at the moment. I had a little bit of a cheeky peek before coming live, but it's very limited. It's only like just being spoken about. So I will see if anything else comes out in the next couple of days. I will obviously make a TikTok and pop it up. So if you don't follow me, you should. And then you'll get a notification for when I do make a post, and it's more likely to come on your like For You page or whatever. So then you will find out information. If you get rejected from your firm, can you try and get into it through clearing? I don't think you can. I think if they've said no, I don't think, like if they've said a firm no, I don't think you can get in through clearing. If you do speak to them though, if you've just missed the grades, hi Millie, how are you? If you've just missed the grades, then you can call up your university and say, listen, these are the reasons why I haven't got the grades, but I do really want to come, so would you let me in, girly pops? If you say something along those lines, you never know, they might let you in. So give it a go, you know, work out what you're going to say before you're on the phone so you're not kind of humming and hurrying before you speak to them. Like just work it out on like bullet point on piece of paper, and then it just means you're a bit more prepared. But I'm sure you'll have done great. Good luck. So don't worry. Blair, is girly pops your new phrase? No, yes it is. My best friend kept going, hey girly pops, and now I've started putting girly pops into every single sentence by accident. But it's okay. I feel like if I don't get into uni tomorrow, my life is over. Right. What is this person's name? They don't have their name. Okay, I don't want to call you wuss, but that's the beginning of your username. Okay. I don't know what your name is. Comment your name and I will refer to you as your name, because I think it's better when it's like more individual and like direct at you. But in terms of if it doesn't go fantastically tomorrow, because there are going to be people, okay, Emily, nice to meet you, Emily, hello. Obviously there are going to be some people who don't get the grades they are hoping for tomorrow. Don't stress. It is not the end of the world at the end of the day. For example, if you don't get into your firm and you don't get into your insurance, you can go into clearing. There are so many universities and there will be so many different spaces at different courses and this and that which you can get into. So that's an option. Second option, if you don't feel your grades were good and like representative of what you should have got, you can appeal. This means that they'll go through all your exam coursework or your past tests that you've done at the end of a topic at your lessons or whatever. Then they will, you know, maybe change your grade and take a full-on step back and a look at that to make sure that your grade is as representative as it should be. Alternatively, if you don't like the grade, you can take the exam in the autumn term. That means you can, you know, revise for the rest of summer. It's not ideal, but you can take your exam and then you can feel like you've had a full chance to revise and perform in an exam as you should have. Thirdly, you might decide that you don't want to go to university this year. You might want to take a gap year, do some work experience, and try and apply next year to slightly different universities. And to do that, you just withdraw your university application. And it can seem really stressful and really scary, but in the grand scheme of things, we have so much time. We have so much time to work things out. We're not that old yet. Not that old. I'm 20 next year. How terrifying is that? Because I'm 19 next month, whatever. I'm not turning into a grandma. No offense to anybody who's 20. But yes, so just in terms of it feeling like it's the end of the world, it's not the end of the world, okay? You have got this. I'm sure you will have done fantastically. Make sure this evening you do some meditation or some deep breathing if you're getting stressed. Make sure you look after yourself. Maybe have a little pamper night, have a bath, maybe paint your nails. I don't know, stuff that helps you feel more calm, more collected. Something that I really like to do is, I like to do, you know those like mindfulness colorings? It sounds really weird, but they have like mandala books, and I have some like in my room right now. Just take my little felt tip Sharpies and I just color away. It's fantastic. What did you get in your result? I haven't got my results yet. I get them tomorrow in less than 24 hours. Oh dear, that's so scary. But it'll be fine, it'll be fine. It'll be a-okay, and we're gonna do it together. And it's completely normal and fair enough to be a little bit stressed and a little bit nervous, a little bit scared, but just try and ground yourself through stuff that you like doing. Try and keep nice and busy. You know, maybe FaceTime your mates this evening, maybe jump on the Discord server this evening, play Kahoot with your family. I don't know, stuff that you like to do. Crack out the karaoke, crack out some songs and just have a little bit of a vibe, but just try and keep nice and busy so you're not stressing about it and focusing on it this evening, and try and get a good night's sleep this evening. What are you studying next year? Next year I'm going to do psychology at university. Which one? I don't know. If I don't get into uni in the UK, try anywhere. Oh, hang on. If you don't get into the thing is, TikTok used to like hold the comment section when I let go. If I scrolled up, it doesn't do that anymore. If you don't get into unis in the UK, try anywhere in Europe. It's much easier and the unis are great. That is a good point. If you never know. Could go on holiday for university, go to Spain. Ooh. My family's doing Just Dance tonight. No, I tell you what, I would boss all of you at Mario Kart. I do not bat an eyelid, I'll boss you all at Mario Kart. I'm late, but have you got your results? Not yet. I get my results tomorrow at 8 a.m. So if you want to join my live stream, I'll be going live at 8 and then opening my results when they come through. So if you're stressed about your results and you want to join me and you want to have a little nervous chatter together, then we can make that work, and I will be around from then. Why do some people call unis and other people go through Clearing Plus? So I think it kind of depends on a little bit of personal preference. Some people do both. If you go onto Clearing Plus, it means you can select 5 and kind of go through it, and you select the 5 that you are the most interested in, and you leave it, and the universities will then come back to you. Whereas obviously if you're on the phone, you get more of a direct response. So I would recommend doing both. It won't kill, and then you can hopefully get a quicker response. 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. 8 a.m. my bad. But yes, I'm getting them tomorrow. It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a-okay. Do you have any tips for year 10 or year 12? When people say, do you have tips for this year group? Can you try and specify a tiny bit? Is it revision tips you want? Is it exam result tips you want? Give me a little bit more area to zone in on, and then I can try and help you the best I can. Also, if your name isn't in your username, if you pop your name at the end, I think it's more like personal. I feel like it's nicer if you get a response like addressed to you. So yeah, if you want to pop your name in, then I can say like Emily. But cheers. Have you got your results? What did you get? I haven't got my results yet. I get them tomorrow morning. Oh, the chat's going a little bit fast. Revision tips for starting year 13. Izzy. Okay, hello Izzy. So revision tips for starting year 13. The main thing that I would say is make sure you're staying really nice and organised, because that is something that I struggled with when I first started year 13. I had notes just everywhere. What I would suggest is get yourself a lever arch file or some kind of filing device with some file dividers in, so you can keep all your notes sorted by topic. Make sure when you make notes in a lesson, you pop it in there. Don't just throw it in your bag, because you'll never see that piece of paper again. And make sure you're also using, staplers, just some stationery stuff. It doesn't have to be fantastically expensive stationery, just go to pound shop, pound world, whatever, Poundland. I've seen all of those different variations, and get yourself some bits and bobs. Just try and stay nice and organized. And then I would also say kind of go through a range of different like experiment with a range of different revision techniques. So whether it's you make flashcards, whether you use mnemonics, whether you like to jump up on when I was learning my Spanish vocabulary for my GCSEs, I would jump on my trampoline, and every time I'd jump, I'd say a different Spanish vocab word. Kind of crazy, but it worked for me. You just experiment until you find stuff that works best for you. I went through clearing last year and had a really rough time with my grades. Feel free to ask questions. That is something very good. If you are asking a question, obviously I'm trying to get through to everybody, but the chat's going really fast. So if you see somebody asking a question and you know the answer, if you tap their comment, then you can like at them in your comment so they'll see it better, and then you can answer their question and help me out a little bit, because then we can help each other. Oh, okay, revision tips for starting year 9. Same thing, organisation. This is the main thing that I stress to everybody. I think my main revision tip in general is stay organised, because it makes it so much easier if you're not losing notes, because then you have to rewrite them and this and that, and it just takes time. And I would also say, if you are in one of the younger years, before you start your GCSE or your A-level content, make sure you're really getting these revision techniques that work well for you, like really solidified. Work them out, because at the end of the day, obviously the content that you're going through now is important, but it's not as important as the GCSE or A-level content, which you'll need to learn. And if you can work out how you can get that content in your brain in the smallest amount of time, it means your revision journey will be much easier going forwards. So yes, should I be revising now if I'm going into year 11 in September? To be honest, I started revising before I went to year 11, and equally before I went into year 13. Not heavy revision, just like a little bit here and there, because for me, I prefer to do like a little and often approach. So I just do like, 20 minutes a day. It's nothing at the end of the, like it feels like nothing. It's tiny, like little focus chunks. But then in the grand scheme of things, once it's all built up, that's a fair amount of revision. But it just means like not everything is condensed into 1 or 2 weeks, and then, because that's when well, obviously it depends on how you prefer to work, but if I have to do that much revision in the span of 2 weeks, I'll start going crazy. I'll start going round the bend. So if I pad it out a little bit and work at a slower pace, but just more frequently, that works for me. So, give it a little go. Just take it nice and gentle, and make sure you're still having fun as well, because it is still summer at the end of the day. But you can do like an hour of revision in the morning and still go out in the afternoon. And if you reward yourself with, oh, I'm going to do this afternoon, it works as motivation. So yes. When are you doing study lives? I'm going to pop a question box on my Instagram, or like a poll on my Instagram, as soon as this is done. And then we can see when people want study lives, if they want study lives, because I'm thinking about bringing them back, to be honest. I can't decide what to do. Do I need to write a personal statement for both, for different courses? Oh, so when you apply to university, you get like a one box on your UCAS application where you can put in one personal statement. So you don't have different personal statements for different universities. Some universities like Oxford and Cambridge, they make you fill out like an extra form where it's like, tell us a little bit more about you, because they're so interested to know all about you. So you might have to prepare a little bit of something for some universities, but in terms of just general courses, you just have one personal statement, so you don't have to come up with different ones for different things. What did you get for results day? I haven't got my results yet. I get them tomorrow morning. So if you want to come and join me, I will be live at 8:22. If you follow me, then you'll get a notification when I do go live, and you'll also be able to see, I've got a final part of the results day advice series that I've put up recently. I don't know if you've seen that. If you haven't seen it, honestly, have a little look. That's not me just trying to plug. I've condensed like every single piece of information about clearing, about appealing your grades, about what happens if you miss your firm but you get into your insurance, what happens if you miss your firm and your insurance, what is clearing. I've made all of these posts, so have a little look in terms of, there's a load of information there, and if you've missed anything that I've said so far, it just makes it nice and clear so you can see what's going on. What's your firm and what's your insurance? My firm is UCL and my insurance is Sussex, so we shall have to see. Any tips for anyone going into year 11? I'm so scared. Just try and that's okay, GCSE, yeah. Okay, just try and go in with an open heart, an open brain, and just make sure you're staying so organised. I cannot stress it enough, because that's why I almost, my GCSE mocks didn't go very well at all. I got 2 in some of my subjects. I failed a fair few of them, but then obviously I did really well in the actual GCSEs, and the main thing that managed to help me turn it around was my organisation. So don't let yourself get to the point where you have Spanish notes in your history folder, okay? If that's happening to you, Get it sorted, because you might not have any summer work left, or you might not have even started your summer work, to be honest. If you have nothing to do and it's a rainy afternoon and all your friends are busy or working, take out all of your folders from last year and go through every single one. Make sure all the notes, it can be such a pain, but put on some banging music or FaceTime your friend and put all your notes in chronological order. Put them all behind file dividers to make sure they're in the right topics, and then just get yourself so organised. Print off your specification and tick down the side if you have notes on the stuff, so you can see exactly what notes you need to make and what revisions content you're going to need to start on next year, and just all of this kind of stuff, just to make sure you're as prepared as you can be for your GCSE or your A-level year. Tips for writing a personal statement. For this, thank you for the rose. For this, what I would say is, if you go onto Unifrog, I don't know if people use that. My college made us all use Unifrog. It has like a cut up in terms of your personal statement. So it's like, you should write roughly this many words on this, this, and this. You should write roughly this many words on this, this, and this. So it really tells you, like, it goes into such detail. It's like, tell us about what you've done, which has like previous experience that links to the course. Like, they give you exactly these kind of points, like, as to what to say. So have a little look on there. But cheers. Where do we go for more information about clearing and stuff? If you go onto my profile and you click on the most recent post, I've got like a purple top on that kind of twinks like lilac. Those ones are all information about what can happen tomorrow. All the options that you could encounter. So whether it's like clearing, appealing your grades, going into your insurance, making sure that if you get higher grades than you were expecting, because, you know, we are positive kings, queens, and Jedi Knights over here. So in terms of positivity, if you get higher grades than you were expecting and you would like to change where you're applying for your grades, for your course, then there's information on that as well. So everything and anything you could possibly need to know about is there. And if not, then you can ask me and I will try and help you out. Thank you for the roses. What A-levels did you do? I did psychology, sociology, and biology, and I also did an EPQ, but basically all ologies. Yeah, I really enjoyed them. I think psychology was definitely my favourite, but I might be a little bit biased because that's what I want to do at uni. So I would say that biology was the hardest. It's just a bit of a jump from GCSE, especially where I didn't do triple science at GCSE. So when we were doing stuff like the kidney in A-level biology, I was kind of sitting there scratching my head being like, how does everybody know this? And then I realised they'd covered it at GCSE. So, you know, that was harder for me. So if you're considering, thank you very much for the roses, Shane. If you are considering taking a A-level in a science, make sure you do triple science instead of combined. Well, that's just, you know, you don't have to, but consider it. I'm starting GCSE stuff and I'm off into year 9. Have you got any tips? So what I would say is just make sure organisation, yet again, how many times is it going to say organisation in this live? That's the real question. Stay nice and organised. Make sure you've identified your revision techniques that work best for you. I would also say print off your specification before you start. Get your folders ready. If you have your specification, as you make the notes in your lesson, you can just like tick it off, and that will just really help you stay nice and organised and understand exactly what notes you've got, exactly what stuff you need to prepare afterwards. If you put like a little happy face, like a face or a sad face, then you can identify how much more detail you're going to need to go over, like when you get home or when you next come to look at the topic. So I would say give that a little go. Hey Blair, any advice for, oh hang on, it's gone. Any advice for Oxbridge applicants? What I would say is, obviously, you know, top university, so it's tricky to get in. Good luck with your results tomorrow. I'm sure you will have smashed it. I would definitely say, have you applied yet, or are you waiting for results? That is actually an interesting question to ask. Oh, somebody's just recognised their friend in the comment section. I love it when people recognise each other in the comments and they didn't realise they were going to see their friends in these. It just makes me giggle. Sorry if it's been asked, where have you applied to? I have applied, there we go. I have applied for UCL as my firm and Sussex for my insurance choice. How do you get your specification? If you go onto the UCAS website, not UCAS website, if you go onto the exam board website for whether it's like AQA or Edexcel, if you type in, for example, I did AQA psychology A-level specification, and then it brings you up with a whole list of everything you need to know. It will give you a whole, like, how the exam is marked, if you take the exam, how the exam is marked. So it'll be like, this many marks will go towards this many marks will go towards this, and it tells you like how you're going to achieve them. So you can really make sure you're hitting these specification points to make sure you're getting the grades you need. Any tips for A-level? The chat's so fast. The A-level biology revision or note-taking. For biology, and same with all science, obviously it's quite different because it's not like a more written subject where you can just type your notes or handwrite your notes, because, you know, there's all these different equations and bits and bobs. What I like to do when I was in my A-level lessons is I would have a little stack of flashcards right in front of me, and I would also have my piece of paper, or like my college gave us booklets where we had to fill in the information, so we didn't have to write all of it down, because they were more of the opinion that if you're listening and like directly paying attention to what's going and writing down the odd thing rather than writing down everything, the information would go in your brain better. So we had these little booklets, and I also had flashcards, so then whenever we had an equation given to us or like a key word given to us which I wanted to really make sure that I had in my brain, I'd write it on the little flashcard, and then it meant at the end of the week I'd have, you know, a little stack of all the flashcards that I need to, you know, information that I needed to really, really remember. And then I'd go through and just make sure I was understanding all the terms, making sure I knew the like equations and stuff, just to make sure that when it came to exam past paper questions, which is a fantastic way to revise. If you don't use past paper exam questions, you definitely should. I'll explain why in a second. It just meant that I was able to hit the marking schemes. In terms of the past paper exam questions, revision wise, they're fantastic. Whether you are doing the questions and then seeing, you know, oh, I haven't managed to get this point, I haven't managed to get this point, or I've got this point, I've got this point. If you're filling the actual answers out, you know, that works fantastic. It helps you also understand your exam timing, because some people struggle with time management in exams, like they fall short of time, or they have too much time, or this or that. So it can help you understand your time management. But equally, if you don't have time to do a past paper exam, or if you're in a weird situation like you're on a bus and you can't, you know, you can't exactly crack out your full past paper. Well, you can, but it might be a little bit challenging. If you just go through the mark schemes and you can compare the mark scheme to the question, it means you're still getting the kind of, especially with stuff like sciences, where the vocabulary is very, very specific for you to get the marks. It means you can see, oh, I said they bound together, but I didn't say the substrate made a substrate complex, like all of this kind of stuff, which is more specific, which you need to say to get the grades. So have a little investigation there. Advice for bad results tomorrow. Who is this? Hang on. Alicia, I hope I said that right. Positivity. We love a positive queen. You're not going to get bad results tomorrow. You're going to get fantastic ones. I'm manifesting it for you. But even if it doesn't go fantastic and we do get grades which aren't quite what we were expecting, you know, stuff happens. I would have said a slightly different version, but PG. Stuff happens at the end of the day. It's all a learning experience. It will all help us to develop as people. If you don't get into your firm, you can go to your insurance. If you don't get into your firm or your insurance, you can enter clearing. If you decide clearing isn't for you, you can take the exam in autumn. If you don't want to do that, take a gap year and apply next year. You know, there's all these different possibilities. I think a lot of people are feeling a little bit trapped and confined into thinking they have to get these certain grades. If you don't get these exact grades, it's okay. It's okay. Take a breather, take a second to ground yourself, and then, you know, we'll deal with it as it comes. If you are stressed about your exam results tomorrow morning, before they come in, I will be live at 20 to 8. I will probably be having a little bit of panic myself, but I would try and stay as calm as possible, and we can work through it together. We can chill out together. I'm also going to open my results live if you would like to see that. If you do follow me, then you get a notification for when I'm live. So if you are thinking you're going to be a little bit stressed tomorrow morning, then come join me and we can chat. We can have a little bit of a nervous chit chat, and work through it together. But cheers. When is the new logo coming? I can't lie, I've been incredibly busy and it's not done. It's not done. It will get done at some point, but I don't know when that's going to be. Basically, I don't know when that's going to be, but it'll be fine. Blair, you need to pin the comment about the fact that results day is tomorrow and you haven't got your grades yet. If someone can ask that as like a question, then I can tap it, but I can't pin comments on TikTok, I don't think. Yeah, no, I still can't. I had to check if there was a new update because I haven't been live in a little while. I went live the other day when I was at a circus and I fitted in a contortion jar. I don't know if anybody saw that live. Did people see that live? I literally was in a contortion jar. I can't touch my toes. I don't know how I got in. I couldn't tell you how I managed to get in, but it happened, so there we go. What's a mnemonic? A mnemonic is basically when it's like, you know, you can have like big elephants. Oh, hang on. I can see people asking the question. Let me multitask and find the question so I can pin it. Where it's like big elephants can't always understand small elephants or use small exits or whatever version of that you use. It's like the saying that helps you remember the different letters or the different... Where are the questions? I can see people asking them. Where you can refer back to it and try and understand a word or like a phrase. I cannot see the questions. I don't know where they've gone. Somebody is asking a lot of times what happens with exams next year. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think many people know because there'll be a slight, it will kind of depend on what the situation is with Corona, because obviously we could have another wave, we could be kind of at the end of Corona now, so we kind of have to wait and see. I would imagine if the situation is kind of the same as now, people will have the exams, because obviously you can't have festivals and not exams in terms of like the same amount of people and stuff. So if the situation with Corona is like this next year, I would say probably people will have exams. But if we have another wave, you know, might have a similar situation to us. I don't know. Can you go through your live times, please? Are you going to start doing lives when you go back to school? Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing the lives again soon. I'm going to pop a poll or like a question sticker on my Instagram story after this. If you go into my bio, then you can see the link there and it will take you across. And I'm going to ask people what time they would like and all this kind of stuff. Because before I stopped for summer holidays, we used to do from 5 till 6 and 8 till 9. But obviously it is slightly different now with it's the summer holidays, and when it's nice and warm outside, people don't really want to sit inside and do and study live. So we will try and work out when works best for people. Blair, how would you revise for an upcoming A-level biology exam? Do people have exams right now? I don't know, because as far as I was concerned, people didn't have any work to do and people didn't have any exams coming up, which is why we stopped the study lives. Do people have exams? I'm now so confused. Hang on, I still can't see any of these question stickers with like, I haven't got my results yet. I don't know, my TikTok must just be going really slow. It's okay. I wish there were study lives. I'm gonna bring them back, Bella, do not worry. I just need to work out when people want them. I do have exams, I've got exams in 3 weeks. Why do people have exams in 3 weeks? Like, what year are you in? Sorry, I'm going on a slight whim here because I'm now really curious. Have you got your results yet? Not yet. I get them tomorrow. Someone said lasagna. There was no context, but yes. I love lasagna. Okay, favourite pasta? Carbonara. There we go. I have exams next week. I'm in year 12. Oh, fair enough. Year 11 have exams in 3 weeks. Good luck. I'm sure you'll do fine. We can bring the study lives back. I think that might be beneficial for people. What should I put into my college application? Okay, with this, what I would say is obviously you're going to need to put your GCSEs in when you get the results, which are going to be fantastic. Pop your GCSE results in, pop a little bit about you. I didn't have to do like a full-on application for my college. It was just kind of, you know, pop in your grades, pop in where you came from, and like 2 sentences as to kind of this is why I'd like to come to your college. So I didn't really have to do that much. I would imagine it would differ from college to college. What I would say is maybe speak to your teacher at your like secondary school that you're at now. They might be able to give you some advice in terms of what that specific college would like, and just make it more personal to you, because obviously I don't know who you are. Watching me through screen. But yeah, no, I would definitely say speak to your like, there's probably a careers person at your school, maybe, I don't know, they might be able to help you, so have a little investigation and speak to them. What job do you want to do, what's your goal? I would really like to do developmental psychology, but recently with my whole like TikTok growth and all this kind of stuff, I do find the like psychology behind social media really interesting as well, and kind of marketing. So I thought I had it all figured out, and then I started doing TikTok and I was like, you know, this is kind of cool. So I don't really know. We'll have to have a little investigation. How do you start applying for university? So you won't have to do this quite yet. I think usually the deadline is about October time. Well, that's when it is for like early entrance universities. I think everybody else is kind of early November. Then you'll do your application. Your school or your college will take you through that whole process. I'm sure about it. They'll say this is what you need to do. These are the different deadlines you need to meet, because you will have to apply through UCAS. So your school will probably make you send your personal statement in, and then they'll send it back with feedback, and you'll go backwards and forwards a couple times before you submit it through UCAS. But what I would suggest now is, if you have a little look in terms of the university courses that you might like to take, you can do stuff like, there's career tests if you don't know what you want to do, or you can do like trial days, or alternatively, if you go onto YouTube and you look at kind of some people's videos, it's like day in the life of a med student, day in the life of a dentist student, day in the life of a pilot? I have no idea. Whatever kind of interests you, then you can have a little look in terms of what it's like at their university and like how their day runs as a university student for that subject, and then you can maybe get a little bit of insight into, or you can always do, I think certain universities have like trial lessons or like taster sessions, which you can do online or like upload it onto YouTube, where you can have a look at what a typical lecture would be like. You can have a look on that, and then get some insight from there maybe, but there's no real rush. I think that's the thing. Obviously, if you're applying to go to university next September, you know, you've got a deadline. But I think something to be said is you don't have to necessarily go to university as soon as you finish your A-levels. You can take a gap year, do some work experience, work out what you really want to do. Because for me, at least, I know I didn't want to go to university. I've known since, you know, a couple of years ago. I was like, I don't want to go to uni until I'm convinced that I definitely want to do that subject. Because, you know, I'd rather figure out a little bit more about who I am first before I go. And then it means, you know, I'm not spending a stupid amount of money to do a course that I'm not that keen on in the end. So have a little look there. Do you know what IGCSEs are? Yep, I did those. IGCSEs are international GCSEs. They, I think, are typically a little bit harder. They apply to, so say you take IGCSEs, you can take them in Germany as well, so you don't have to just take like UK-based GCSEs. So they are slightly different, but there's not too much of a difference, I don't think. I think there's talk about them being slightly harder, but yes. But yes, I did some of those I did, some of them I didn't. It depended on the different course that I was looking at. So yes, was there any extra bit behind that? How do you pick A-levels? Honestly, I knew I wanted to do psychology, so I kind of looked in line with that. If you don't know what you want to do, I would say maybe just try and keep it nice and general. I would recommend psychology. Yes, I like it, so I might be slightly biased, but I would also say psychology in terms of employability is fantastic because it looks at how the brain works and this and that. Like, not to say don't do geography, but geography is obviously more specific in one area, whereas psychology, there's psychology behind geography, there's psychology behind marketing, there's psychology behind education. There's all of these different areas which it kind of spans into. So if you don't really know what you want to do, I would say take like a umbrella subject, which I guess could lead you into a load of different journeys. That might be beneficial. If you do know what you want to do at university, look at the university course which you are aiming for. So what I wish I had done is looked at the university course that I wanted to do when I was choosing my GCSEs, because then I would have picked triple science and then it would have made my biology A-level a whole lot easier. But so just if you know roughly what you want to do, try and look as far forward as you can to work out what qualifications you're going to need to get there, if that makes sense. But cheers. I'm so panicked by GCSE results. You know what? Should we do some breathing? Okay. I don't know if people have heard of 4-7-8 breathing. What happens is you breathe in for 4, then you hold for 7, and you breathe out for 8. And it's really good because it helps you ground yourself. And when you're getting a little bit stressed, you've got, in simple terms, you've got two parts of your brain, the logic part of your brain and the emotion part of your brain. And when the emotion part of your brain is having a little bit of a stress, we're having a little bit of a panic over here, if you use the logic part of your brain, you have to pull some of the energy from over here, which will end up calming down your emotion part, but the logic part is you counting what number's next. So let's do some breathing, okay? We'll do 3 cheeky breaths. What we're gonna do is breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. I'll count and you can breathe, okay? Okay, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. Do you know, I can tell people are breathing because the comment section slows down where people are trying to focus. I nearly passed out. Yeah, if you have like asthma or anything, adapt it slightly so you don't pass out, but yes, we don't like seeing anybody passing out. So thing is, I used to count slower because what happens is when there's music in the background, I don't know if you can hear it, right? I try and like, naturally my brain tries to like count in time with the music, and then I realize 7 seconds is becoming quite a long time. But yeah, so obviously adapt it and do it safely. But that is a technique which you can do, count 4, 7, 8 breathing. There's also 7, 11 breathing and all these different breathing techniques. You can get apps as well which talk you through your breathing. There's a really good one which I like to use called Calm, where like the bubble gets bigger and then it shrinks. Just something visual can sometimes aid with calming yourself down as well. This works well if you've got anxiety or if you've got other stuff going on that can make you feel a bit panicked, a bit short of breath, just to give yourself something to focus on. So if you're having a bit of stress later on this evening, or alternatively tomorrow morning I'm sure we'll do some breathing in the live before I open my results. I might breathe as well and count on my fingers, so I can do it as well. But yes, we will look after each other tomorrow morning, and we will look after each other now, and we will do it together, because we're all in this together, in the words of High School Musical. I don't know if High School Musical was before people's age. Like, I did a study live the other day and we played Kahoot. By the other day, I mean like a month ago. We did a Kahoot, and it was a High School Musical Kahoot. And there were loads of people who were like 14 who were like, I don't know any of the lyrics to the songs. And I was like, it's High School Musical. Watch the film. The TV show is not good. I'm just going to put it out there. But it's okay. Are you going live on Thursday for GCSE results? I'm not entirely sure. This is the thing. It's my brother's birthday on Thursday. So if I did go live, it wouldn't be for very long, just because he's turning 13. So he's becoming a teenager. And obviously I want to make sure that I'm spending his birthday with him. Thing is, I think he's doing some kind of like course thing in the day as part of his birthday present, so there might be a chance of the sun. So I think there might be a period where he's not home anyway, and then I could potentially tie it in then, but I will have a chat with my mum this evening and then try and work it out. What time are your results tomorrow? They come out at 8. There might be a slight delay though, depending on how many people are trying to get onto the website where my results will be. But I will be live at 7:40 if you want to join, have a little chit chat if you're having a bit of a panic, or alternatively if you just want to see how I did, because I pinky promised I wasn't playing Roblox the whole time. But if you do want a notification when I do go live, or when I post other study stuff, or not even study stuff, I've got some cool things coming up, you have to wait and see what they are. Then hit a follow. Something that I do want to say is, if you are somebody who is having has a question about something else which isn't necessarily to do with results, and I didn't see your question in the live, because it's last 10 minutes, last 8 minutes now, I'm gonna go at 7 because I'm going for dinner. I'm going for dinner, so I'm gonna have to go in 10 minutes. If I'm just saying it now, I'm still going to answer questions and stuff, but if you haven't had your answer for your question yet, pop me a message on Instagram, pop me a follow there, or alternatively, you can click on my profile and there's like a Q&A button. You can ask questions in there and I will try and respond to some of them as soon as I can. I took a little break from posting, but now I'm back on it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been posting every day. I was like, oh my gosh, who is she? Look at me go. Cheers. Will you post a TikTok of your results tomorrow? Yeah, what I'll do is, when I do a live, TikTok saves it on my like TikTok saved live section of like my profile, and then I can go in there. So I'll like trim the clip of me opening my results. So if you do miss it, I will pop it up there. I'll pop it on Instagram as well probably. But cheers. What do you have for dinner? We're going out for dinner. Oh, I don't know where we're going though. We're going to this place, which looks really nice, but I don't know what they do because I haven't seen the menu. Might have a cheeky Google before I go so I can see what's going on. Cheers. What grades are you expecting? I'm hoping for A star AA. That's what my predicted were. But I know people in the year above whose predicted grades were like AAA, and they got like B, C, D. So a bit scared on that front, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We've got our 4, 7, 8 breathing, and we've got each other. Oh, how wholesome. But yes, the panic is starting to set in a little bit, but I think that's normal, and that's totally okay, and it's just how we deal with the panic, you know. I'm gonna go for a run tomorrow. Should I go live before 7:40 and take you for no, you'll just realize how unfit I am. I'll be running over like maybe not, but I will probably go for a run tomorrow morning, or maybe after. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Cheeky gander. What's your firm uni and what do you want to study? My firm university is UCL and I would like to do psychology. Bike ride before maybe. To be fair, I can ride a bike with one hand. Don't do that unless you know how to do it or like learn to do it on grass. Maybe I'll just film. We'll do a live while I'm on a bike ride. Are you always this excited or just nervously? I usually have a lot of energy. I mean, people who come to my lives normally, I don't know if any of you have any comments. I would usually say I just talk a lot. Or I could talk behind legs of a donkey. The other day someone was like, do you want to do a live for 24 hours? And I was like, well, I could definitely talk for that long. It's just, I don't know if I want to fall asleep on live. I think that could be a little bit, I'll just be there like, I don't snore, so it's fine. Do you know what? I talk in my sleep. The other day I was at my friend's house and she's like, you're talking about baked beans for half an hour. I was like, oh, okay. Are predicted grades important? I would say predicted grades are quite important because that's how you apply for university. You do apply with your predicted grades. Obviously, stuff might change between your predicted and your actual results. You might get lower grades and then might have to go into clearing or go to your insurance, or you might get higher grades than you were expecting for your predicted grades, and then you could apply for a higher course. The only thing is with that is all the spaces at the university with higher grades might have gone quicker or this or that. So I would definitely say don't just think, oh, it's just mocks, because you do apply with your predicted grades. It's different to your GCSEs. So yeah, have a little think with that. Oh, I just got an email from UCAS. I will read that afterwards because I don't know what it says. But yes, do you do these often? Do you do tips? Yeah, I basically do a whole load of tips. I sometimes do lives. I'm going to try and get back into the study lives. I will pop a thing on my Instagram to see when people are around. If you want to go and, you know, comment what time would be convenient for you, or you want to hit me up with a DM. I do check them. I get a lot though, that's the only thing, so sometimes it takes me a little while to reply. If I haven't replied and it's been a while, just send the message again, because then you'll get like boosted up to the top. But cheers. Blair, are you in Tenerife? Because I swear I've seen you in my hotel. No, I've never been to Tenerife. I'd really like to go though. I'm in Brighton right now. People keep messaging me on Instagram being like, oh, I saw you in Brighton, but I was too scared to come say hi. If you see me, come and say hello, because I think that's so cool. I actually think that's so exciting. What are predicted grades? Predicted grades are kind of like, they are the grades obviously which you apply to university with. They're kind of a combination of your like mock grades, so the exams, like the practice exams, I guess you could say, that you do for your GCSEs or your A-levels, and they also take into consideration, it depends on different colleges, different schools, whatever the situation is, but usually it's kind of a estimation of what you will get in your A-level or your GCSE, if that makes sense. But yes, good luck for your results. You helped me so much during year 13. Thank you. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. It's so cool recognizing people. Hi Ella, how are you? It's so cool recognizing people that used to come to the lives a lot. Thank you guys for still tagging along. It's kind of swag because we've been doing these since November, which was kind of sick. We've had a bit of a journey, haven't we, really? Do you get your results tomorrow? Yep, I get them at 8 a.m, but I will be going live at 7:40. So if you are a little bit stressed about your exam results, or you want to see me open mine, whether it will either be tears of happiness or tears of sadness at this point, the emotions will be setting in. So you're just going to have to bear with me tomorrow. But I will do my best to support you guys, so we will be all good. I really want the study lives back. I will crack on them. Jump over to my Instagram straight after this is finished, and then I will try and sort it out on there so we can have a little investigation as to what's going on. We have 3 minutes left, so let's go for 3 questions. 3 questions. Okay, let's pick good ones. I haven't been on your live since my mocks in May. No way. Welcome back, girly pops. Watch me cry down the phone to universities. Honestly, okay, I'm gonna, instead of taking a question, I'm gonna take like a collaboration of questions and try and like apply it so as many people get something out of it as possible. If you are stressed, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again anyway because I think there's a lot of stress in here. If you are stressed, it is normal. It is okay to be stressed. It is okay to cry. Okay, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. I think people don't hear that enough. It's okay to cry. Okay. It's okay to have a bit of a panic, but what I would say is reach out to people in your life who you feel comfortable with and who you feel close with, who you can perhaps FaceTime this evening, whether it's a mate who's also doing their GCSEs or their A-level results, or whether it's your mum or your brother or your aunt or even your cat. I don't know, get your cat in and be like, hey, sugar plum, and just make sure you're speaking and communicating with people that you care about. Say, I'm feeling a bit stressed, because you never know, they might turn around and say, right, what do you want for dinner? Let's cook your favourite. And just, they'll make more of an effort and maybe be a bit more patient with you if you accidentally snap or something like that, just to try and have that kind of communication flowing. So firstly, do that. Secondly, look after yourself this evening. If you have the chance to do some exercise, that will help release some endorphins, get rid of some of the stress in your body. Make sure you're eating well, have a good dinner, get some protein in you. Protein, like, you know, chicken, pork. If you're veggie, nuts. If you're vegan, nuts. You know, there's a whole range of stuff. Just make sure you're eating really well and getting some vegetables in you as well. Sleep well, go to bed at a reasonable time. I know it's really, really easy, especially if you're overthinking about what's going on tomorrow, to stay up really late. Just try and set yourself a boundary, try and come off your phone, maybe have a bath, put some music on and leave your phone at the other side of the bathroom, okay? Have a look with a vibey sesh. Have a look. Do you know what's really nice? If you have a really hot bath and you have a Magnum, you have to race with a capital R to eat that before it melts in the bath, but it's really nice because you've got a hot bath and a cold ice cream. You know, do stuff that makes you feel a little bit more calm, just to make sure you're looking after yourself this evening. Then, thirdly, in terms of stress and all that kind of stress management stuff, make sure you're doing some breathing to ground yourself if that's something that you find helpful. Make sure you're doing some hypnosis if that's something you find helpful, or you can do meditation. Good follow on YouTube, absolutely love them. Have an investigation, a little bit of a cheeky sneaky gander onto YouTube and look at their stuff. They've got a whole range of ones which are really, really useful. Alternatively, you can use somebody else. That's just the guy that I usually go for. Then, next, it's time. I know, but that was one out of the 3 question things which I have developed in my brain. Second question thing is, if you aren't sure about your results tomorrow, you know, if it goes well, fantastic, good job. If it doesn't go well, still fantastic, good job. This has been the most weird year that we could have if you'd said to me this time last year, you will still be in Corona, like pandemic land, I would have turned around and laughed at you. I would have laughed in your face and been like, okay. Because we were all thinking it would be gone by September. So this has been the most crazy year. So be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself tomorrow, because, you know, it's tricky and it's stressful, but don't beat yourself up. There are so many options in terms of what you can do to cope with different scenarios. Obviously, I've made my TikToks on those, which you can go and look at afterwards if you think you've missed anything. You can also, you know, pop me a message on Instagram. I will try and reply to people this evening if I can. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people messaging, so you might just have to be a little bit patient on that front. And I will be live at 8 tomorrow morning to open my results and to talk you guys through opening yours. So if you want a little bit of comfort, companionship in the morning, pop a follow, and then you'll get a notification when I do go live. In terms of what's happening with my firms, my stuff, my firm is UCL, my insurance is Sussex, I'm aiming for A-star AA, I took psychology, sociology and biology, and you should follow me because I'm cool. No, I'm joking. Not about the follow bit though. No, I'm joking. But yes, this is, I guess, the end of the live. Thank you very... Oh, wait. People are saying thank you. Oh, thank you very much for saying thank you. Thank you for the gifts, Ella. I love you. How have you been, my love? I just want to say thanks for everything you've done and for helping me, and good luck for tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you for all the gifts. Honestly, best of luck for tomorrow. If you have more questions, Q&A sticker or Instagram, follow me on here, and I will be live again tomorrow morning. You'll get a notification. You can set a notification live. If you go back a couple of posts, then there's like a thing you can tap and you'll get a notification like 10 minutes before. It'll be like, blairsbrainiacs is going live. If you can't find that, you know, hit me with a follow and you'll find that nice and easily. Also, if you have somebody who you think is stressing about results, who hasn't been able to join this live, then if you share the videos that I put up recently with me in a lilac top, or just my account in general, then you can try and help a friend out. Because do you know what made me giggle? Do you know what made me giggle? The other day, this morning, my best friend, who I've been friends with for years, she doesn't usually ask me about like blairsbrainiacs stuff, but she called me up and was like, Blair, I have a question. I think you'll probably know the answer because of blairsbrainiacs, but how does clearing work? And she just called me up. So if you have somebody who would appreciate some of the information that I've shared today, you know, share my account or share the videos, because hopefully we can try and have as many people feeling nice and calm and collected as possible. But that is it from me. I will see you all tomorrow. Best of luck with your results if I don't see you before you get yours. I'm sure you've all done fantastic. Stay patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and just take it nice and easy, okay? Watch some random TV show, which is absolute waffle this evening, or watch a conspiracy documentary. Those are kind of swag as well. But lots of love. I love you all so much. Have a fantastic evening. Go to sleep at a relatively normal time, okay? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Okay, lots of love. Bye.